all your plans. Where do you stand? I'm finding my place, staying focused on the inside. Where do we stand? What is the focal point to get the moving forward in forward motion? Not looking into the past, look inward, look into yourself. Make an investment into you, be your own motivation. Be your own motivation. Be your own motivation based on where you want to go. In what direction are you traveling? Where are you taking yourself? Stop following others on their journey. That's how you fall in love. We're supposed to be uplifted, to rise up high. Yeah. Empower yourself and others to keep it moving. KIM, keep it moving. KIM, keep it moving. What is the focal point? To get the movement and forward motion. Not looking back into the past. Look inward. Looking into yourself, making an investment into you. Be your own motivation. Be your own motivation. Based on where you trying to go. Where do you want to go? Ask yourself, where do you stand? Ask yourself, where do I stand? In what direction am I traveling? Is that where I want to take myself? I stopped following others on their journey and I took my own. That's how I fell in love. Are we supposed to be uplifting for the humanity? To be uplifted, to rise up high, empowering myself and others to keep it moving. KIM, keep it moving. KIM, keep it moving. Where do we stand? Where do we stand? Where do we stand? What's the to get the motion? Stand your praises up to allow solidity to come down upon you and all your plans. Plan to be successful, and success will come to you right where you stand. Right where you stand. Plan to be successful, and success will come to you right where you stand. Sing your praises up to allow the bliss to come down.
Islam
on your plans.
You gotta know where you standing at.
Where you standing at?
Greetings.
Islamism. Your lyrics are so moving, Side Star. Your lyrics are moving. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I try to get the whole process of getting you to think about what's being said and the message that's inside of it, not just because it sounds good or the music is bumping. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we get mixed up in just the sound of the music, but we're not listening to the words. And
yes, ma'am.
I try to change that that's why it's Akshita style poetry, frequency, flow. So
yes,
the frequency can move you and get you to actually listen to the words. So so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, positive vibrations. That's all it's giving out. How was your week?
I had a really good week. It's been kind of crazy this week. Really. There's been a lot going on. I just feel like I just been moving in so many different directions, but it's all moving forward. So I've had a really good week. I can't say no different. How has your week been?
We're working and we're moving forward, as you say, working and moving forward. I find it hard. I can have a very bad day, a very bad week, but I wouldn't even speak on it. I'm always going to tell everybody I had a blazing week. I had fun because somewhere in there I did. So it's hard for me to think about the bad stuff. Brother Daryl Cosmon, yes, sir, brother. Thank you for watching, brother. Thank you for being in the house. Thank you for your participation last week.
For sure. Thank you. That was awesome.
Yes, and the family, yes, the Waspe family, thank you. Thank you for your participation in making this world a better place and assisting our families. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot for that.
And I do see, I'm on YouTube right here.
Mm-hmm.
I do see what you typed up in there. And I did see a picture of the prophet carrying the woman out of the water. And so I did see that as I was logging in on here. So yeah, we have to learn how to work this StreamYard so that we can access all of this stuff. But Brother Daryl, I would like to be able to type back. I haven't even figured out a way to type back yet through the StreamYard.
I sent him a message. I said, it's all good, bro. Star. Thank you for tuning.
Yes, you did.
So.
Yes, you did. But it allows me to.
To highlight the comment.
To highlight the comment. It allows me to do that. So, okay, would you like to open up with what we're doing this week?
Okay, so this week we're talking about family structure. And we kind of went into a conversation about how we get back to family traditions and customs and courtesies and how we lost those things and the family issues and talking about sacrifices that we make to get back to that. And one of the sacrifices that we did touch on is the sacrifice of going into yourself to fix your own issues. In order to deal with yourself, you can deal with your family members better. And so the issue comes where, in my opinion, issue comes when you are trying to fix yourself, but those around you are not interested in dealing with the truth. And so that's where the separation comes a lot of time, is because people around us, family members or whoever, is not willing to deal with the truth and deal with the past pains to move forward, to get out of that mindset of separation rather than unity. So that's my take on what it is that we'll be discussing tonight. And
yes, ma'am.
Going into how we feel about those things, like what are some methods that we could take, because everybody is not willing to move forward and change. Everyone is not willing to compromise those things that are necessary in order to move forward. So do we look past those people? Do we stop and wait for those people? You know what I'm saying? We end up injuring ourselves when we don't do what's necessary for self. So although we were born into families by blood, that doesn't necessarily connect us in our assignment and mission. Sometimes our assignment and mission takes us in a different direction, and we have to find that family. And so that's what we're here for, is to open our arms and open our hearts and minds to those who see like we see, feel like we feel, think like we think, and hear like we hear. That's that one mind consciousness, or the consciousness of one, the collective of the willing. And so those are our people. We don't look a certain way, and we're not all going to look the same. That's okay. What you practice in your home is what you practice in your home. But you can come together to build in nation building, and different tribes coming together to celebrate life and to raise our next or future generations into a new wave of thinking. And that's what we are calling this show, New Wave of Thinking.
Yes, ma'am.
A new, like
And
new beings and all of that greatness.
yes, ma'am. And the contribution, in my personal opinion, my contribution comes from since 1980 working with our families. And so when I deal with it, I don't want to say I deal with it from the outside of us, but our problems that we face have come from the outside of us. The idea of what is a man, what is a woman. We're in we've taken other people's ideas of what men and women are today, but if you listen to political agendas, they'll tell you they don't even know what a woman is today.
No, for real. No, you make a good point with that.
And that's to push another agenda. But that agenda for me started through marketing. It's a marketing scheme that in the 1980s to the 2000s, when we wrote for grants, we separated the family. We wrote job programs for men. We wrote for children. And then there was a separate piece, a whole nother piece for women. And it came to the idea of when we just work with the children, we're sending children home to broken parents. And the parents aren't elevating. So then after a while, the parents are looking at the child, oh, you're trying to be smarter than me. Oh, you got a smart mouth. And that diminishes. And you know, when you achieve something and then you know you achieved it, and then somebody comes and knock you down, I think like that takes more wind out of you than you was guessing trying to do something and get it wrong. Then when you know you're right, I know I'm right and I'm going to do this thing, but everybody standing around me is telling me I'm wrong. That's more damaging to the situation in order for all of us to move forward. But we have all been encapsulated in this type of thinking and this type of moving because of the marketing, the money that it supposedly took to fix our families. And if we go to the money part of it, it's like they'll tell us, oh, it's an inflation. This is going to cost more. That's going to cost more. Why? Did the chickens and the fish say, in order for us to be here, y'all going to have to pay us an extra dollar, an extra 50 cents in order to get extra chickens, in order to get extra fish, extra cow? Or do these things just happen naturally on their own when left alone by man? And so then therefore we have an abundance and where we are sustained, but we end up getting charged. Well, that same theory about food and economics is what is utilized through grants to care for schooling, our family's health care, just family in general. Millions of dollars has been spent on men learning how to get a job and keep a job, how to go in for an interview, coming out of jail to rehabilitation. Millions of dollars have been spent on it. And yet today we find ourselves with those same problems because in my mind, it's as if the problem was really never meant to be fixed. Without the problem, somebody else doesn't eat. So then you and I, and this is where we buck the system, we have to look at these things and then say, whoa, hold up. It's time for me to step up as a man or a woman and do my part to raise my family. And the only way I'm going to do that is to start dealing, no matter what your faith is, you have to start dealing with your inner self and your inner thoughts. And we got to know that most of the times we're right. What we haven't found is like minds to bounce off each other and put those ideas to the test. And so that's why we're coming together now to bring all like minds of forward movement together. Bring us to a table so we can sit down and see that we're all saying the same thing and then do our part to heal our families and get us to the next level.
Absolutely. That was very strong and powerful in how you express that thought process. what I got out of it was the achievement without support. And that's a major thing because I have dealt with that myself personally, not having the pats on the back. And not that you need pats on the back, but you need pats on the back, if you understand what I'm saying. Not a coddling pat on the back, but to say, hey, you're moving in the right direction and I agree with where you're going. It was always objective, or since you're not going to do it my way, I'm not going to support you, and so I get that and I understand that. And I'm sure a lot of people understand what that feels like to not be supported or to say, hey, you did a great job. And so this is what I got out of that. They'll listen to you, and then they'll go behind you, find someone else talking like you, and then follow and support them, and then never say your name. And
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
that's
Yes,
where we
ma'am.
have to come out of. All those people who that's been done to can understand and feel where we're
Yes.
at and what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like a light that shines from us. We're like lighthouses. You know what I'm saying? For all those lost at sea, we're the lighthouse. And that's how you find your way to a safe space, is to find
Yes,
the
ma'am.
lighthouse. And so also the change in roles. I was just having this conversation today earlier in reference to how I see more men with strollers now, and at the playgrounds with the children, and at the malls with the children. You know what I'm saying? And you see more women going to work. So you mentioned men getting trained to work and interview and all of that. Well, COVID-19 changed a lot of things. And what I saw changing is the fact that it was like the imprisonment of the mind. See, we were imprisoned by body. Our bodies were detained and imprisoned through slavery of many kinds, different ethnicities, different cultures of people. It is not just the slavery that happened on this land. Slavery has been happening since the beginning of time. So, slavery, period, of the body, physical enslavement. And then you had the mental enslavement. Coronavirus was the gates opening to release the mental enslavement. So we're no longer even enslaved mentally. We enslave ourselves by not doing our own research, by not going forward and having faith that the change that we need starts with self. We are too
Yes,
afraid
ma'am.
to be ourselves, and we're still looking outside of ourselves for something that was never set up for us, because like you said, the system set up for failure. So I went to this school. This is so interesting. Okay, I am about to change my daughter's school. And so, if y'all don't know, I've homeschooled my children for 6 years. And I just recently enrolled them into school in the middle of this school year. And so now they're coming into completion, and we're about to transition, and that transition causes my youngest child to have to change schools. So I went by the school that I thought she was going to be going to, and I thought it was kind of strange when I passed it the first time, because it was all fenced in and gates everywhere and locked up and everything. And I'm usually used to the school where you can, like, there's a driveway to go into the school, is in a nice little area, safe neighborhood. Because, usually you can't be within so many miles as, any type of criminal acts or any labeling that you may have. You can't be within certain miles of a school district. Okay, but this school is in a really busy area. And so I get there, and there's this big gate that I got to go into, and it felt like I was walking into a prison. And I was like, it started like giving me kind of like anxiety a little bit. So you had to push the button. In all schools, you got to push the button because the door is locked.
Right.
So I'm pushing the button, but I don't hear anything. I don't see anything. I don't know that they hear me. So I'm just pushing and pushing. So I get in there and it's like Fort Knox in this place. So when I finally get to the front office, I'm like, oh my God. It's like Fort Knox trying to get up in here. And it was like, that's good, right? I was like, I don't know if that's good or not, because I understand that the children are supposed to feel safe in school, but they can't even get out if they needed to.
And if I wanted my children, I got to go through a whole bunch of hoops in order to get to my child. I
Right.
remember when they started locking doors in the 90s. And I was and see, this is where you know you're right, but everybody around you make you seem like you crazy, right?
Right.
I had to bang on the school door to get in. Then when I got there, they wanted to go overboard with show ID. Hold up. You got my babies in your school. I'm coming in. So I pushed past. They're letting me, you're being too aggressive. We'll call the police. I don't care what you do, because you got my children in here. And how dare you lock me out from my children and put me through hoops to see my children. Right. So fast forward to today, because they didn't call the police or anything. I got to see my babies. Fast forward to today, and all this on-campus shooting of the schools is the reason why they're locking them up now. Now they're showing a reason that we need. So that again to me is like society. I don't think those people were sitting at home and just decided to get up and go shoot guns. They were convinced in some kind of way. They were told, shown. It was some type of mechanical thing that went on that has those people at those schools shooting them up, because a normal person, nobody thinks that way that I know of.
So have you ever heard of the Manchurian Candidate? Okay. That's
yes,
all
ma'am.
that is. That's exactly what that is. And so you got children who are in foster care, who have no one to speak for them, no one looking for them, no one just, trying to get them back into a family environment. So say, for instance, they're doing shock therapy, they're doing all these different things and programming these thought processes of hate and anger into this child or this person, and then they go out and they perform that task based on what it is, because they were expendable anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
So
yes, ma'am.
I look at it like the Manchurian Candidate.
Indeed. That's exactly the type of thing that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So is the brother still in the back?
Yes, he is. That's Brother Daniel Phillips there.
So let's bring Brother Daniel Phillips on. Let him fill in some blank.
All right.
Greetings, all.
How are you?
Greetings, brother. How are you, sir?
I'm well in Texas. Just shut down for the day. Almost near
All
Mexico.
right.
I'm in Texas.
Yes, sir.
So we appreciate you coming on to the show. What do you have to add to the conversation?
It's self-explanatory, but I'm gonna just go over the same points because you guys hit. That's funny and ironic how every point you guys brought up, as you know, Ashita, I'm going through it. Been going through it. And it is elevated to the point where even this current position that I have. So, last time we saw each other, we was in Alabama. Right. And that very same house where you came by, you know what I mean? They like my people, now that I'm gone, moving, doing something, being actively patient, because I'm really, still there. But I'm actively doing this right now to enhance, what I got going on down there. You know what I mean? So you got to go to where the resources are to enhance what you got going. Thanks. So since I, it seems like I don't want to think for nobody, but I would like to crown myself an empath. So you can kind of read people's energies, and most people don't know how my brain is worked. I don't, because I'm looking for a certain frequency, which is positive, I can attitude and come together type. You know what I mean? So when you
Yeah.
ask questions and you just in regular conversations and everybody's going through the same mundane stuff, they think I'm listening. I have kind of a split brain. They think I'm listening. I can go along with the dialogue. However, I have a keen ear. I'm waiting for a stage left exit to, well, what do we do here? A solution, a resolution based, something different, something, outside the mundane, So I'm like,
Right.
and it doesn't happen. So it really drains you and gets you discouraged. You know what I mean? So for me to have that situation going on in my environment, as much energy as I push and put out there and just seep out and ooze, they don't seem to get it because that's not their objective and that's not their focus. So I came up with something. I don't know if read it somewhere or it came to my mind, but I just constantly analyze myself and what I'm doing because it's like I'm trying to, what you call those rocks that you try to get the spark going. You know what I mean? You trying to get the
Yeah.
spark,
Flint
like
Rock.
rubbing people. Yeah, flint. Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to get this thing smoking. It's like the more I beating Chuck, it's like it's wet or something. You know what I mean? So,
But this has
okay,
to be the right material to strike, though. See, you can't
right.
forget that point.
But
You know,
that
you
was
can
that
strike
was
all
meta.
day long.
That was but you're right, right. You getting to the point. That was metaphoric, but that's like contact. That strike is like contact and engagement. And you know what
Right.
I mean, with other people. And it's like when it's gonna start. So okay, I know I'm the material. So with other people, it's like I guess I'm doing it on a piece of plastic. Okay, you're not it. I'm doing it on a piece of tin. Okay, you're not it. You feel me? I'm doing it on a piece of wood. Okay, you're not it. You know what I mean? But still, so that's why okay, nobody's a flint like me right now in this situation. So let me go do something else. So boom, get into this truck. Now coming back to the topic. Now that they see I'm not there trying to strike anymore, so hold on, double mind. So my thought was, okay, you have to once you know you fully, because they listening, they so nosy. People listening, but they don't engage. They take what it's like it come in one ear and go out the other. I know your memory works. You feel me? Your system, your energy, your body, it works. It's doing what it's supposed to do. So I know you're listening. I know you remember, but you choose not to entertain it. Okay, but throughout the time, I know me personally, outside of anybody else in this universe, have put in enough fucking starter sample pack to where if you wanted to do that, you would come with
Right.
at least a question. So you
Well,
don't
this
even come with the no, hold on. You don't even come with the question. So it came to me. It's like, okay, you filled them up with the introduction to the right direction. They're choosing, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. Fine. I'll leave and go do something else instead of making myself seem crazy trying to figure out another way to get you interested in what we need to be interested in today. No, it's not working. Okay, let me go do something else. Now, currently today, now I'm on it. As you see me, I'm in the vehicle. I'm not there anymore. But now, all while I was there, did y'all call me? No.
No.
The calls after calls after calls, messages after messages, and just like little, and they feel like they're longing for that energy. Come back with that energy. You know what I mean? No, you come to the energy now. So my saying that I came up with, oh, I figured it out by accident, by trial and error. When you know you did your job and the person is not cooperating, draw back. So when you draw back, because it's like I feel like with my empathic ability, you think it's that's how this is how our people are. They know that's the right information, but it makes them feel some type of way hearing it from you because they're like, how do you know it? You know what I
mm,
mean? You're not
yeah.
supposed to know it. It's supposed to be some big extinguished mother. I mean, hold on. Let me take out my language. It's supposed to be some, somebody upper echelon. But if the knowledge is coming from a simple man like me and it's upper echelon, why can't you accept it from me? And we share the same blood. But you want it to be broadcast on the news and be a trend before we
Right.
take to it. You know
Right.
what I mean? Okay,
Mhm.
so I pull back. So now the calls and stuff come in, and it's like, so I know there's something there. That's the strike. Now we getting the spark because I left.
But it took for
Oh,
you.
okay.
It
So
took for you
so
to
by
move.
trial and error, yeah, it caused me to do something. So now it's like, oh, it's the yin and the yang. It's the push and pull going on. You know, we
Right.
alchemists. Oh, I'm working with energy.
Yes, sir.
I know too much shit about concept, but it ain't. It's nothing to me if I can't get it to do something. Yeah, I know what it is. You know what I mean? But if I can't get it to produce the thought that I need it to do, it's useless. You know what I mean? So I feel that going back to what you guys were saying, people will try to drain you. They'll try to drain all of that out of you because they
Mm-hmm.
don't want to hear it. Instead of adding to it, they'll try to deplete you so much, hoping you'll run out of it. And then
Right.
when you rise again like a phoenix, they like, oh my goodness. Actually, it's kind of, they kind of, that's what I was kind of saying. They kind of, like I already said it, but in other words, they're embarrassed. I don't know this. They're embarrassed to say, I don't know. When a person like me, I know a lot, but I don't know what the perception is of other people, but there's a lot I don't know. And I say it to draw it in.
Right.
I have an empty bucket here. This needs to be filled. All these are filled over here, but I'm talking about this one. If anybody knows how to fill the contents of this bucket, and this bucket says brown sugar, you know what I mean? I need brown sugar in this bucket. I have everything else for my ingredient, but this brown sugar, I don't want no salt. I don't want no sage. I don't want no, you know what I mean? Anything else you got to offer, unless it's brown sugar, metaphorically, hypothetically speaking.
Right.
So, well, let me put it back. Positivity, focus, not no toxic crap, not no same mundane premeditated. This is what, and then that's what I see is programming. So I understand programming. It's the foundation, and they're scared to rewrite the program, the initial program that was put into their mind. We're like computers, like it's like a old ran down. You know how when a school is shut down or a library, they have all these generic computers in there, and it's strictly for the catalog of books. You know what I mean? So when that library gets shut down, they think that computer cannot be reprogrammed to do anything. You can make beats on it, movies, you know what I mean? It's just not strictly for the library. You have to reprogram it. You might have to upgrade. You might have to put another little image card or something in it or something. You could
Mm-hmm.
you could do like, the sun, just bust it off, use this screen for this and put these wires and have it hooked to your microwave, TV, lights, clap on, anything. It's just not the catalog for the library. And once it's done doing that initial, it's not obsolete. You don't throw it away. Everything in the under the universe can be reused, repurposed. So people don't see themselves as a organic machine that could be
Right.
reprogrammed. So
Right.
I know this. So I do it. And then going back to what you guys were saying, when you're changing, they don't want to let you change. They want to continue to remind you, no, you're the same ignorant hood dude that's going in the wrong path. How? But I always leave that remnants on to show progress. Yeah, I got my hood uniform on, always in my vernacular and my lingo. That's to show the naysayers that how is this hood dude talking about, you know, these things? And they look at me crazy like, they draw back. And I do it just for that shock and awe. I promise you ordinary, but deliver extraordinary.
Okay
Oh,
then.
I
I'm not,
like that.
Okay
I
then.
like that.
you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Dropping
that's just,
bars.
so that's just what it is. And that's what it's going through. So now that you can't never fix the problem until you properly see it. So by me being
It's a fact.
by me being this is my fight, this is my life, and I will not, I'm going to my last breath. And then they try to flip it. Here go the cleverness of the enemy. They all try to group together so their combined energy can trump with your frequency, and this won't work.
Well,
I don't
that's
care
the
how.
Yes,
amazing.
sir.
That's the amazing part about your greatness is when they got a team up against you, and they can't come at you alone. So you should know that you're strong. You know what I'm saying?
And
You
that's. But I'm not in competition. I want to embrace y'all, but y'all treat me like enemy.
well
And
look.
then when a nobody walks up, you get the most beautiful person
All the
accepting
respect
it.
in the world.
Like, what is this? That's mighty white of you. Like, what's going on here? I had my cousin literally tell me we were somewhere and his conversation with me was real vulgar, strong, and saturated with just toxic topic. Then a person walked up on the job site we were on and he flipped the script, started talking about NASDAQ and the Rob report and all this extra stuff. And I go, bro, where is that conversation when you with us? And this was his true statement. This is what he said. See, white people, you know they're not all bad, but he was just on the wrong road. White people, they don't have no soul spirit. So you have to explain stuff to them in words. This is his exact words. See, black people, we got soul. So you got to make them feel what you talking about. Wrong. Flipped it, brother. Flip it. You get all that toxic stuff to them and you come with your best foot forward here. You scramble.
Right.
Your wires are crossed. But for
That
me to see that,
yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that was
That's
his
a
truth.
common move.
That
That's a
that was his
common
truth.
move.
That was his truth, though.
Yeah. You got to
You
allow
know what I
people to
mean?
live in their truth. And guess what? I would rather show me who you really are than to try to tell
Then
me
fake,
that you're someone that you're not. So, yeah, I'm paying
then fake.
attention to everything that I see and I'm listening to half of what I hear because if
Right?
your actions don't match your words, then I'd be a fool to follow you.
Huh?
Amen.
For
Amen.
real, for real.
So you said a lot of good things. Energy does speak louder than words, and when you are vibrating on a higher level, uh, you become food to those that are vibrating on a low level. They don't want to do the work that it took for you to get to where you are and to speak the way you speak and to know the things that you know. They don't want to do that research or study, but they do want to diminish you of yours. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Dumb
Um,
you down and mute you so there won't be no contrast when topic is on the floor.
Absolutely, because we don't want you thinking outside the box. We put a pretty bow on the box for you and everything, and you're gonna bust out of it and not even gonna operate in that box that we put you in. And so yeah, and so you can't beat a dead horse either. If they're not getting it, you have to have the strength to walk away and allow them to view you as an example. If as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do and you're walking in your truth and you're walking the path of righteousness, the only thing they can do is observe you. And if they choose not to follow you, then you can't drag them behind you because if you dragging them, that's dead weight.
Hold on, quick. But let me interject you right there, though. You're right. I'm not going to disagree, but I'm just saying this. Going back to what you tied into the other a few minutes ago, the Manchurian Candidate. Because I know they can't be reprogrammed and they're not doing the work. So I know there's an energy frequency or word, some type of scenario situation like the Manchurian Candidate, how they come and they're malfunctioning or they're doing something they're not supposed to do, and she'll say, "Bluebird on the mountain." Then it'll stop. You know what I mean? It's that cold word
Whole
that'll go in there
word.
and shut everything down and put them on. It's like what you got on the phone, like reset mode. It'll
Right.
reset them.
That's the whole point of the news, the evening news, why it repeats itself over and over again. That's why they talk about certain topics and subjects to
That's how they get
remind
it in them.
those,
Yeah.
yes, and
To
so
create the narrative,
there's a
to
whole
don't go off.
right, there's a whole objective to the information that they choose to speak about rather than what they don't speak about because there's a lot of things going on in the world that they won't even report. I just want to shout
Amen.
out real quick to those that's on Facebook with me. I appreciate you and I'm grateful for your presence here.
Thank you.
Tia, I love you, and you're getting thanks from the panel here, from Brother El Yagar. So thank you. And thanks to those that are tuning in on YouTube as well. And I wanted to
And
say that
we will do better with broadcasting it out. We will learn how to work this mechanism.
we're doing good because we're here.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Everything is
So
progress. Yep.
you said come to the energy. So instead of you following behind them, see, you have the right concept of now putting yourself in a position for them to now come to you. You still have to not, you can't linger on what they weren't willing to do in your presence. You know what I'm saying? But if
Mm-hmm.
your example is upright and righteous to, you know, where you can be an example for them, they'll come to you and they'll begin to ask you once they begin to shed off that old energy of not caring or not wanting to know.
You know how I see it though? There's nothing after I done reached a certain plateau in myself and there's no retreat. There's nothing else to do but go because I don't tuck tail, I don't back down. So
Right.
I
I get
know
that
this
too.
is it. These are the elements, like the fifth element. We just looking for the fifth element to set this whole domino rally off. So keep these pieces while you try to go get the last little flint to spark the whole situation. So I don't want to lose them. Keep them corralled and keep the energy tight because even though they're not focused, at least the companionship or the network is there.
Well, you
The
know
person
how.
the personnel that everybody's not in their rightful spot in the duty like operating a submarine, but at least we on the ship, you know. We still at the dock. We haven't submerged and start going on the course, but at least everybody's in here. They some playing video games, some cleaning their shoes, some on the phone. No, everybody man their battle station. You know what I mean? We're at war.
Amen. Yes, sir. So we have to remember that a prophet isn't known in his own backyard or by his
Boy,
own
we
people.
talked about that the other day. A prophet is
Yes,
respected
sir.
everywhere besides his own home. That came up
So
three
so
times this week.
Oh,
so
that's
so that's the reason why, like, this social network is beautiful. We don't have to jump on a train. I didn't have to jump on a train to come to Texas in order to meet you, or a plane to get to Arizona to
Right,
meet SciStar. Nah, we met each other here. So the like
right.
minds are able to come together. Now, can we keep the like minds together in formation and in building? And Brother Daryl Cosmon, can we keep us together in order to express what it is that we're expressing? Can we build from each of our stations where we are? There's 50 states, and the same thing goes on in the 50 states from people from within each state. So then we're all in each state. So right now we're like congressmen and senators sitting here talking to each other from these different areas. And this is the respect that we have to have for each other at what would be the top, if you said the top, because of the way we're talking about changing everything. Can we keep that respect and that love for each other and move on one accord in order to get something out here that our people gravitate to as a whole? Can we make the next trend? Can we be the
Mm-hmm.
fashion? Can
That's
you
the
see?
key.
This is
That's the
where
key.
we're
The
looking at.
trend.
And
The
so with the
trend.
trend, Sister Akshita, do you have another song ready to flow? Because this, to me, entertainment and media and the lyrics that are read and heard
That's the
are where
trend.
we need to be.
okay.
You have another song ready to spin?
Yes, be the change. And so we have to be the change that we want to see. So that goes right in line with what the where the discussion has gone tonight. So this is be the change.
You gotta be the change. Be the change. Be the change. Be the change. You gotta be the change you wanna see. Yes. You got to speak up and use your voice. Be the change. Use your voice. Be the change. Speak up. Be the change. Speak up. Be the change. Use your voice. Speak up and use your voice. Speak up and use your voice. Use your voice. To be the change. to be the change. Speak up, use your voice. Speak up and use your voice. When you don't like what you see, or you don't like your conditions or your circumstances, you need to change. What are you willing to change? The change you want to see, sacrifice. To be the change you want to see, the power is within you. Speak up and you, if you are willing to make a decision or change choice. Speak up and use your voice. Become a state of mind of those who would like to change. Be the power that you have because you are powerful in your own life. Most times, most people who try to have power in your life, they got to control the power in their own life. So don't let that power go on. So that you speak up and use your voice. Speak up, do not remain the same. Do not remain the same. Only you give them the power to do so. Or you place yourself as something to be a jurisdiction and government. And use your voice. Use your voice. And be the change. Be the change. You gotta take a stand in your own life. You gotta take a stand. Use your voice. We must separate ourselves from the system and stand firm on our own. We have human rights, and we must acknowledge the difference between human rights and civil rights. You gotta be a living being. Don't let me just call the change because you're not choosing the change. You gotta be the change you want in the change. You gotta be so that you will remain the same. If you choose to remain the same, if you are not willing to change, if you are not willing to change to go through the process and gain different results, then everything will remain the same. When you don't like what you see, or if you don't like your conditions and circumstances, what are you willing to change? Give up or even sacrifice to be the change that you want to see. To be the change that you want to see. The power is within you. Only if you're willing to make a decision or just a different choice. You gotta be the change. Be the change. Be the change. Be the change. You gotta be the change. Use your voice to be the change. And use your voice to be the change. Speak up. You gotta be the change you want to see. Use your voice. Be the change. Be the change.
That's right.
Be
That
the
was fire.
change.
Be the
Be
Can
change.
I can I
the
can I say three thoughts that came to my mind while I'm listening?
Sure.
Please, brother, go ahead.
First one is listening to your music. How I look at it with my mind's eye, I see what I'm doing wrong when I write music. And I saw an image like a well or still water. It's not big, but it's still and it's deep. Still water runs deep. So people will come drink and listen from your music versus mine. Mine is like a rapid river. They're scared of it. You know what I mean? It's too much information because I remember I was talking to my uncle. He said, "You're putting too much in your music. You got to leave room for the music too. You got to let the people hear the music." So yours, you were deep, but the words weren't complex. Me, I over sophisticated, trying to cram all this knowledge into these little bars and get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
That was one I learned from listening to your music. I said, she made it so simple. You know what I mean? And repetitive. Okay, but it was complex. I'm not calling it simple, but I'm saying it wasn't sophisticated to where you'll lose your listener. You know what I mean? And second and third thing, quotes that I programmed in my head after reading a long time ago. I was cleaning the school, and they were closing down, and there were posters from Black History, and I was just reading the posters as I was packing them up in the box, and there was two quotes that pinned in my brain. one from Martin Luther King and one from Oprah. The first one from Martin Luther King was, "You have to be the change that you want to see." And I took that and modeled myself after that. Right. That's what first one of the first initials. That's right. That resonated with me. And that took that excuse to try to fight everything. The more I fight, they're gonna put me right where they want me to put. So I have to learn how to fight by adapting. You know what I mean? This level of the fight is not physical no more. It's mental and spiritual. It's the unseen. So I had to, get acclimated to that. And that's difficult coming from a fist broad, background. It's like, what? We can't kick ass? You know what I'm saying? No. So the third one was Oprah Winfrey. She says, in your lifetime, you can have everything you want in your lifetime, but just not all at one time. I was like, damn, I hated to hear that, because there's truth in the answer. So many questions. Why?
Right.
I had everything. I had my mama. I had this, and it's not over. You know what I mean? But you can't get it all in one day. You can't have your mama, your granddaddy, your kid, your wife, and all. They're not all going to be at one table. And I had to be all right with that. You know what I mean? But in my head, they're all in one table.
Right. You can carry them all together, but to actually
in the physical,
to regret not having them all at the same time is a waste of time, because those moments that were shared with each individual was still noteworthy in your growth and development. And so you take all that and then you become this centerpiece at the table. You become the centerpiece at the table. So you are what everyone marvels at when they come to the table. It should be you. If we're putting somebody else or something else at the centerpiece, then we're not the focal point. And if the table is set up for you, or, where you're supposed to be, we should always be the focal point or the center of that table. And that's just like when you go to a wedding reception or a family event, there's different tables with different groups of people at those tables. Everyone is at the event, but everyone is not sitting at the same table having the same conversation.
Elders, in-laws, friends, yeah.
There's different conversations going on at each table, but we're all at the same event.
Under one roof, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So that's what we're doing here. I hear you, Bro Star, please.
Yes, ma'am. I didn't mean to cut your growth. And so now with everybody at this table right now, you said that when you say that you're into music, do you make the music or do you just do lyrics?
I am music. That's just how I escape. I don't even try to present it to anybody. That's just one of my escapes.
Okay. Well, now like minds coming together, and for what we're bringing to the people, we have our own label right now. And we got 3 people at that label right now. And then Brother Daryl Cosma, who's listening, he's a poet. We got 4 people at our own label. The only thing left to do is make a website and put the music on the website, or any other creative, inventive forms of media that we can design to bring it through our own marketing, our own management, our own promotions, without looking outside to get us done. And then as far as, everybody wants to make money through that same website, we charge for the music. So, but we have to be open to forming our own label and being our own label and operating amongst ourselves. Because I was watching something on YouTube where it's telling independents don't even use Spotify anymore. And it's all because of behind the scenes stuff and money. And like let's go get the advertising dollar ourselves, because that's what it comes down to. If we need a house to bring people to us, that means a .com where we're generating the material and people are coming to us. And then when we get the clicks, we get the advertising dollar ourselves. And that's the position that we're in right now with everybody coming to the table because I make music. Sister Akshita does what she does. You do what you do. We bring that together. We're powerful. And then we invite other people to come in with us and continue the process.
Question.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I have a question. Now
I'm
here
listening.
comes my, I'm still, even though I got grays, my energy is still youthful, I guess. So here goes my youthful questions that I have more experience uh ears on the floor with me because I really don't, confide this with anybody else. I observe the system and the problems. I'm a problem solver. So I never like wasting energy with music. So that's why I drew back from it because I saw it's like, hey, as long as I'm trying to come with this frequency in music, when going back to like Ashita said with her music, but okay, hold on, two parts. I'm sorry, this is just how my brain works. I saw two things. So if our people are being poisoned through entertainment, I saw that as a syringe, and
Yes.
I saw the contents of the syringe to be the toxic entertainment. So, and I knew going back to the maturing candidate, so I knew I would have to sneak in there and going with the whole idea of placebo effect, either put the antidote in there or put some goddamn B12 or some regular vitamins in the solution to where the people it's like a oral fixation with smoking. I really don't want to smoke all the time, but I'm just used to the oral fixation. People are used to going to this, going to that, going to that. But one day, if somebody sneaks in or they don't have it to go to anymore, or it's changed without them even knowing, they would accept it. Like for instance, there was another sidebar. Sorry, this is just how my brain works. Somebody said you go to a restaurant, $1 million restaurant or whatever. They got everything nice, crystals, diamonds, and all this set up. Waiters, everything's extinguishing, but they give you some shit on $1 million piece of china. With the little sprinkles and
The
shit on top.
garnishment, the
Yeah, the
garnishments.
garnishments. There you go, the garnishments. People are so fake. And oh, we in this nice place, and you feel me? And they could come out and pull off the shit off the tray and it be steaming or whatever, and be some hot shit with garnishments on $1 million plate. Set it at the table and give them the best treatment and service. People will know that shit, but because of the aura or the allure, everything else, nobody will want to be the first one to say that's some shit. Most people will try.
I like to tell my daughters all the time, you can't give me a cupcake and put shit on it and tell me it's icing, chocolate icing. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna know the difference. So
Right.
just because it's presented in a certain way or it looks a certain way doesn't mean it's supposed to be consumed or that it's edible for consumption. And if you do consume it, you have to know that whatever you consume becomes a part of you. And so that's just a personal choice. Now you can't make people not consume it if that's what they want to consume. I jumped out of the business of trying to convince people of anything. I don't care what you believe. I really don't care what you think. You think what you want to think. You believe what you want to believe. I'm not going to argue with you over that. Okay. Hey, we can agree to disagree, and I can respect the fact that you don't see things the same way I see it. And I'm not going to force you to do that. And so you mentioned the solution. I see solution as the soul plus ion, soul plus energy. Energy is what it moves things. It creates an act. And so action, the act ion, is to act in the process of energy, to do something. So this right here, what we're doing is exactly what the solution is. And so all we can do is keep coming to the table And as we continue to come to the table, those that the hearers will hear and the doers are going to do.
Facts.
So there's no reason to convince anyone of anything or be angry
Facts.
at
Well, I like that.
anyone for anything. Because see,
Mm,
I'm not gonna step in your path. I'm not gonna go run in the way of a herd of any type of movement in a herd and try to stop. You know what I mean? Like I told you the other
right.
day, bro, L star, L yeah. Like I'm no the if we're in the locomotion right now, nobody's gonna stand in front of a train and say halt. Who goes there? No, you better get out.
Mm-mm.
We
Okay.
moving. This is a movement and we are on the move. So just like if you have a vehicle, the vehicle has all the parts to it, but it ain't got no engine.
Right.
It's useless.
Right.
It has all its parts, it has the engines, but it ain't got no tires. It's useless. It can't go nowhere. It can't move. So once all the parts are there, like you can build something. This is the building process right here. And it's only this many of us right now. But it can grow and become what it's supposed to become a movable engine, a movable part of what's going on. And we're not the only train moving.
Mm-mm.
We're not the only vehicle on the road. Like,
Mm-mm.
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
Even if
There's
you go
traffic out
outside
there.
right now, it's plenty of traffic, plenty of moving pieces. But do
Mm-hmm.
we bump people out the lane because we're trying to get over there, or do we wait our turn and make a
Navigate.
safe pass?
Navigate.
Yes, navigating. So we must be navigators and we must tap into our own GPS system to get to where we're going. And it's not where someone else told us to be. That's where the soul is moving. The soul plus the ion, the energy that's carrying our soul forward
Mm.
in the mission and assignment that we have been given to live our purpose. Now
Facts.
I can't let anyone else determine my purpose. My name,
Facts.
Akshita Veda, means permanent sacred knowledge. That name was given to me when I asked to please spell out to me my purpose, my mission, the finalize everything because I have been given so many names prior to that, or a few names prior to that, and then after that name, more names continue to come, and those are all parts of me. So I have this one song that talks about being a hectagon, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like a spider, like the web of
Spider web.
a spider
Yeah.
web, right? So I'm on many different angles. You got to find me. So you may think you know where I'm at, but you don't know what perception I'm in because I'm on 100 angles of
Mm-hmm.
perception and a
Mm-hmm.
hundred angles of truth. So
Mm-hmm.
everything I stand on is truth. I don't dibble and dabble in what's not true because that's a waste of time and I don't have time to waste.
Can I
Amen.
say
And
this?
so,
Go ahead.
yo,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, brother. No, go ahead,
Oh,
speak, brother.
I, I want to say back to you because you know how my mind works. It branches off, and so I try to speak on every leaf, but I can't. So coming back, what I wanted to address to you, brother, was I saw the problem and why I withdrew from the entertainment because it was oversaturated by our enemies because they see the value in it. So they actually, and it all comes to a bottleneck, and they had control of the bottleneck, which is media, paper, radio, television, whatever other sources of media there is. So it's like until we get our own media. So with my brain, I start going to the caveman stuff. Okay, so can we buy an old radio station? If they way up here on this frequency, can we step back in the past, go retro, and send everybody retro? That'll be perfect because if the fake shutdown happens, hey, everybody gotta we on a go get you a radio. We can step by step go get you an old radio, bust it down, make sure it's this many frequency megahertz, this. Then he go all the thing like a what do you call it? Like a little survey scavenger hunt. And then when you get it, you put it together and you meet us on this frequency at this time, every day or every
Yeah,
other day we
so,
broadcast. You know what I mean? because
So
the future. Go ahead.
the frequency of the radio, the numbers on the dial, are not reachable from the East Coast to the West Coast
I know
and
it.
from the
Yeah, I
north
know
to
it.
the south.
It's lower, and you gotta
So
ping it. Yeah,
yeah, and so ping it, and or we would have to purchase
amplify,
into so many that right
amplify.
now
Yeah,
it would destroy us trying to purchase into each
right,
one.
right,
So
right.
with
That
this,
was just an
but with
idea though. But it's like, how do you
no,
get the
no, no,
soundtrack from?
listen, because you're right. The .com wouldn't just be like it's the .com, this is the end. No, we should reach back and get into the AM and FM stations and beyond there also. That will grow our market. So
Right.
you're right in what you're saying and what you're thinking, but here's the thing: unless we cut time out to come to a table to talk about a plan to get all this done, take the simple steps first. And a simple step is a .com. That puts us in everybody's face and get our message out there. That's the easiest thing we could do. All of us from all our different camps are responsible for sharing and promoting that .com. In the meantime, I'm in Connecticut. I'll go look around at these stations here. You're in Texas. You look at yours. Sister Akshita's in Arizona. She looks at her. I think Cosmon is in Minnesota, Minneapolis. He go look at his from the .com. Now when we start generating some monies from there, it's not immediate income to our pockets. Now we're looking at getting the radio stations. This money has to go to the radio station. But don't forget, on every level, we're after that. We want the clicks for the advertising dollar. If we're getting 1 million clicks a day, if we're getting 100,000 clicks a day, we got advertisers' attention. Now we have to control the way they come in and what's being advertising, and we have to be the ones to say what we're not accepting that. We're not going to do it that way. We're not allowing you to tell us we got to do it. This is what we're doing. Either you're going to come in front of this audience or you're not.
Right.
So we can even go as far as to pick out the type of advertisers that we want. So like, let's say Maxwell House Coffee, a tea company, Uncle Ben's Rice. See, we can pick out who we want because we're generating something, and things that we know are common amongst us. Dial Soap. We can go to them with our packages and say, look what we got. We got over 30, 40 artists on our thing. We got people clicking up. Now we get to control that part of the industry for ourselves. The industry is right now, they are that fancy restaurant serving the poo-poo with the garnishments all around it. That's what they've been serving ever since they've been doing. So now here we come, and like church music has its own genre. Well, we're not church music. We still have secular music. It's just clean music. So there's nothing wrong. We can mix a church song within everything else that we're doing, or the Muslims gospel. We can mix everybody else's word inside of what we're doing because we're being clean.
Play all their music on this station. That'll bring them all together. We gonna have Indians, some Rastas, some hood, some country, and some classical. Yeah,
because we're not all the same. We're not all coming from the same places or the same walks of life or the same genre of music. But that doesn't mean that I can't love and respect you where you sit or where you stand. Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, because I see that's all they did. Every time an artist come out, like, and they were invisibly hush them because they already know what's up there. And I come from Los Angeles, California, so I'm not. I've been around the industry and I know, you know what I mean. And I went back to the hood. There's no Hollywood in the hood. You feel me? But a lot of the hood dudes say like, okay, this hood stuff ran out, so we try to switch and go to Hollywood. Then you go to Hollywood and they end up turning into Geppetto and you poking Pinocchio. They pulling your strings. You know what I mean? They start pulling your strings, and then you be like, well, at least I got nicer shoes and a bigger house. but at what cost?
With
Because
course,
you
yes,
start
sir.
because you started positive, but now you switch to what they want because the advertisements want this. So you
Yes, sir.
came to them instead of having them come to you because you're desperate. So I'm the opposite of that. Yeah, I knew I could have made it and I could have, I had some lyrics go all the way. And they told me like, that song that got sold, I was mad at you, so I didn't tell you that I was supposed to give you some money. You get writer credits because your lyrics went all the way to the top and that song sold. What? You tell me that after the fact? I wasn't even mad. I was more in awe that my thoughts went all the way and got sold. Hmm. I could do it again, and I just gave you a sample. You know what I mean? But I want to be in control. I could introduce you to Snoop Dogg. In my masculine vibrato at the time, I don't want no lady introducing me to Snoop Dogg. I want Snoop Dogg to come to me under my own,
Amen.
under my own actions.
Amen.
I don't think he'll respect me if I'm introduced. Maybe not. Maybe that's just how I was thinking with my. I'm a LA dude. You know what I mean? You don't respect that. You know what I mean? Now, if you make your own smoke, make your own noise, and then I come to your powwow, then you got something going on.
Yes, sir.
So that's just how I looked at that. So as long as they control, they wait, they sit there, and that's what they do too. They sit back and wait till you catch a buzz, and then send somebody. I'm just joking right now when I say this. Then send somebody like Puffy or Dr. Dre to try to lure you in. You know what I mean? Hold up. Go get him before they get too hot. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Before they get
yes,
too hot, go get them. Sick 'em.
yes,
Now they
yes,
popping up at all the pool parties and stuff.
yes. So,
Why
but
y'all want me here? Just come on. Everything's on the house.
they,
Like, no.
but they can't touch us. I mean, I'm not going to go into the full plan of what we can do, but
Mm-hmm.
we can take our part of the industry and run it ourselves and eat well off
These are
our
facts.
part of the industry.
Because I'm
And
not greedy.
when we do it correctly, everybody's going to want to be a part of ours. Because first of all, we got Sister Akshita, and I know there is no casting couch inside of here. Either you got the talent to do it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's no casting couch for women, and I love women, what makes you ever think there's a casting couch for me? And there isn't one. Either
Mm-hmm.
you have the talents to do what's necessary or you don't. And that's the only thing that we operate off of.
Mm-hmm.
This is what keeps us clean, keeps our movement righteous, and is the ability to really hand down our children generational wealth without you and I having an insurance policy on us that's waiting for us to pass away so my child can have $152 million, $150,000 to $2 million because we done passed away. No, we have something that we're working at on a daily. And now as you're coming up, you can come in here and work too, because it's not just the music, it is the movies, television programming, books, all of these things we go after right now. And we simply do that by agreeing to form our own label. We don't even have to have a name. All we have to do is agree that, yeah, from now on, we consider ourselves our own label. We could come up with a name later, and then everybody start looking at the different aspects that it takes to run the label, all the different things within the entertainment industry, and we start doing those things ourselves. And I kind of like with me, I'm a cheat sheet with it. I already know this thing that the industry and what we should be doing and how we should be doing it. We need a team to pull it off without any problem.
Mhm.
And that's what we're coming together for, with like minds, to build us so that we can take everything to the next level. I don't have any right trying to build you up from where you're talking and things. I mean, build you up is one thing, and to keep you on your toes is one thing. But to try to teach you something is not what I'm here for with you.
Right.
All I can do is align with you, hope that you see that in me, that you can align with me, And then
Mm-hmm.
we go back to the old school. My word is my bond. I either gave you my word in or shook your hand. So our deal is made. Now let's move forward on our work and then be accountable for that.
That's real. And
I
that's
like that.
about the
That's the first
realest
contract.
thing we can do. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That is the first contract, the contract of
Frequency on that
agreement.
air. Yep, and put it into the universe.
Hmm.
Yes, sir. And
And
we
then
could get to the other stuff later.
right, being accountable for our own work is the key to all of that. Absolutely. You make great points in how we move forward, and identifying those things that we are looking forward to doing. We're not just here because we want to be seen, you know what I'm saying, but we do have to come forward in public to have these conversations so that we set our feet down in the ground. No plant grows without a seed being planted. So this is the seed. We are the seeds that are being planted, and what we plant, we want to come into fruition because we're going to nourish it. We're going to make sure it gets the nourishment and sunlight that it needs so it can grow. And so that's what we're doing. Absolutely. You ready for another song?
Can I say
Yes,
something
ma'am.
before you go?
Whenever you,
Can I say something before you go to that song?
Yes.
The media also likes to typecast us. We're also multifaceted. That
Oh
we
yeah.
lose other abilities by being typecast. You big black dude, or you just an athlete of sports. No, he could be an artist, calligraphy, like paper mache. He could do origami. He could do a bunch of stuff, but it's not. But it's not typical. So therefore, he won't entertain it. So
Right.
I see with this energy, and especially starting with me, depending on the frequency of thought, it determines the expression of it. So it might be music, it might be art, it might be poetry, it might be a gathering, it might be this, it might be getting in the dirt. You know what I mean? Planting, it might be putting cards together, it'll turn into anything. So
yes,
I
moving
like that you
forward,
Yeah, I like that you said that, because it opens up
right?
it opens up the mind to not
Opportunities. Yes.
opportunities, yes, so you don't put yourself in that box. And the
Thank
fact
you.
that and then the crazy thing is that I was so self-conscious about my music because it's different and I
Mm-hmm.
don't hear anything like what I do. And it's not
Mm-hmm.
like I'm so far-fetched with what I do. It's not anybody else's style but mine. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
spoken word on beat to me.
Yeah,
Fresh
that's what
beat, fresh spoken word.
it's poetry on a beat, and that's why it's
Yeah.
our
In
shooter style
motion.
poetry, frequency flow.
Poetry in
So
motion.
yeah, poetry in motion is what it is. And so thank you for recognizing that. Um but absolutely, you really bring me back to what it took for me to really step outside of my comfort zone to just go ahead and create the music, because these are messages for me, and I had to realize through my journey of writing this music that it was healing me. I was
Mm-hmm.
I got outside of thinking that I was making this music for anybody else, and I started focusing on what I needed to hear and remind myself of, because I still get down. I still get these negative thoughts, or I still have energy opposing me. I still got spiritual ops out there that's trying to stop what I have going on. You know what I'm saying? Because before we came into this body of matter, we were a spiritual entity that's been here time and time and time again. And that same energy that is opposite or opposing to us is still here, just like we're
Yeah.
still here.
Yeah.
We just
Mm-hmm.
don't look the same. And that's why it's good to read energy and to feel energy, because you know where that energy is coming from
Mm-hmm.
spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to step outside of myself and really just say, you know what, this is for my daughters, so they can remember those things that I have, put into them, they're going to recognize the messages that they don't understand now. They're going to understand it when they come to that crossroad. And so I left a roadmap for them so they can always remember my voice. And so when generations come,
always be
yes,
here.
I will never die.
Amen.
Die. So are we ready?
Mm-hmm. Encore.
All right, let's get it. This one is success is winning. I think this is appropriate for where the conversation has gone, because we're talking about being successful, and what does success means? That means we're winning. And so we may not be fast at it. We may be slow, because that's what turtles are. Turtles are slow, but turtles always win the race. So here we go. Success is winning.
The best way to grow is to stay focused on your success. Come in to win. Congratulations. Congratulations. When you work so hard to become the best version of yourself. Congratulations. To be the best you can be. Winning is all you see. Congratulations.
Turn it up a little.
Success is winning. Congratulations. Be the best that you can. Congratulations. We bound for success, won't settle for less. We've come too far now, we're shooting stars, lighting up the sky, sitting on high, but we're not high or inebriated. This is life elevated. We got ambition, we're on a mission. We got the drive to strive, the antidote to stay alive. Know the now, we gotta smile. God bless the child who has her own. We're going to the top now, shining bright. We are the light. Hustle hard, grind smart. Be a self-starter. Congratulations. When you work so hard to become the best version of yourself. Congratulations. To be the best you can be. Winning is all you see. Congratulations. Success is winning. Congratulations. No time for failure. Be the best that you can be. It's time to rise above all circumstances. We don't play victim. We are victors. Victory is mine. They can hate, but we can't relate. Because we're real, not fake. We take our time to grow, to stay in the flow of life. No strife, even through trials and tribulations. We see elevation, the revelation of truth coming out of our youth into maturity. In the bloodless revolution, it's our time now. When you work so hard to become the best version of yourself, to be the best you can be, winning is all you see. Congratulations. It's winning. Congratulations. This is the bloodless revolution. Be the best that you can be. This is the bloodless revolution. Congratulations. Congratulations. In the lives of the matriarch.
That's right.
Yeah. So the bloodless revolution is exactly what we're doing. Be quiet, Calico.
Calico.
Yes. The bloodless revolution is doesn't require us to fight and draw blood from one another. You know what I'm saying? Standing in our power and coming together to do just what we have been talking about right now is the bloodless revolution. That means we are standing up in our power and we are joining together as a collective, and we are willing to move forward as a unit.
Right.
So that's the bloodless revolution.
That reminds me of the old military or samurai saying that goes, um, you practice is bloodless war, and war is bloody practice.
That makes
So
a lot
you
of sense.
so you practice like you in war. So when you go to war, it'll be nothing but bloody practice.
Yes, and that makes sense. If you don't know, I was in the military. I did 12 years in the army. And so when we would train, now I was personnel, human resource management, so I wasn't infantry or anything like that, but they trained us like we were infantry. And so we learned to
Kick ass.
yes, we learned to, like you said, practice as if we were in war. So there was never a time where we were practicing that it was a game and we didn't take it seriously. Because when I went to Iraq, that was a uncharted territory that we knew nothing about, and then we had to understand the rules of engagement. If you shoot someone and they did not present themselves as an imminent threat, then you were wrong. The war was never really about us going over there to kill people. You know what I'm saying? Our presence was what we were there to show, but we were also trained to protect ourselves, shall we need to. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely practice like you're at war and go to war like a live
Bloody,
practice.
bloody practice.
We
Like a
we
bloody
say that we say that in sports too. You play the way you practice. If you don't practice
Practice
hard
how you play.
on game day, you ain't gonna play hard. And so you're measured during practice on your abilities for game day. And so all the way around, see we don't have to be in one box to understand each other. The universal understanding of it all just comes from all our different walks. Now we
right.
have to bring it all together and make it relevant again, maybe in another arena, but we have to make it relevant again, and that's what we're doing.
And that's so powerful because we've all had our own experiences and we're all on our own journey. But the thing is that once we get to a certain point in that experience and on that journey, we have to cross over what they call the burning sand, or cross through the river. You know what I'm saying? Everything is symbolic to what you experience in the process, because to get through a river, that's the water can be rough, and water, you can't control it. It will carry you away without your permission.
Mm-hmm.
And crossing over the burning sands, your feet are on fire to get across to the other side. Now, you can sit there and be scared to continue the journey and burn up, or you can take that little heat that you feeling on your feet. I like that. And then keep on moving until you get to the other side. Now, everybody's not fit for the journey. Some people stayed over there. Some people drowned. Some people burnt up. But it's those of us who made it to the other side who are now here to say, okay, you made it through that. Now we
For
didn't
real.
go through the same things, and we didn't meet
I barely made it.
we didn't go through the same enemy. We didn't have the same fights. We didn't have to use the same skills, but we used the skills that were given to us. And you have to identify with that in
Mm-hmm.
order to even get across. You got to find your skills and your abilities. So one of my skills and abilities is to I see what many cannot see. and I can get in tune with the unseen. I can communicate with the unseen telepathically, and I can hear and understand those things. So, um, I can speak to things that many people cannot speak to. Now, some people can. I ain't saying I'm the only one with this gift and ability. I'm just saying I
Mm-hmm.
recognize that I have this gift and ability, and I can only speak for myself. Just because I'm speaking for myself, and this is for the all. Just because I'm speaking for myself doesn't mean that that negates anything that you have capability to do. You know, we all are presented with those tool with the toolbox when we get here, and it's up to us to go inside of that toolbox to figure out what those tools mean and what we need them for. That's just like on a video game. You get all these tools in the upper level. The higher you go in your levels, you can figure out what tools you have and how to use them. And a tool that you use at level 1 ain't gonna stand up to level 10.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? You
Exactly.
don't hammer no more. You need a magic wand on level 10.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
A calico.
Yeah. Yeah, you need a calico. Calico, the cat over here, has has that she was on my bed one day, and she raised up and she stretched, and I could feel the vibration through the entire mattress. That's how
Mm-hmm.
powerful a cat is.
Mm-hmm. On the spiritual level, they can see both sides. They say they,
Absolutely.
they say they say when your cat leave your eye, they be everywhere, and then they come back when they want to.
Yeah, they do.
So I hate to be the one to cut wisdom, but it's about that time again.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. Yeah. And everyone is appreciated for either
Absolutely.
tuning in and participating with us. We love you.
Appreciate
Brother Daniel,
the invitation.
Brother Daniel,
Yes.
looking forward to linking up with you. Hopefully
Alright.
we can find some time during the week to put our label together and bring back your music, match it with Sister Akshita music, match up whatever I come up with or anybody else. If we get other people join on with us and come out here and do our own thing, and then we could talk about how to move it all forward into the rest of the world to do what it is that we have to do.
I
Can
already
I
got
say
a name.
can I say 5 words? One of my songs, I like to coin myself like that. When they first hit this is how I like to think about my music. When they first hear my voice and then they chime in at what I'm saying, I want it to be something that just cuts through. And I just want to say first 5 words of one of my verses says. I'm gonna just say the first 5 words, and this is I like that was like the cleanest one I said. Interrupt the state of the union. I'm gonna stop it right there. That's what I want to do with my energy. Interrupt the state of the union.
Hey, listen, we're not knocking each other
Mm-hmm.
for anything
Not
that.
us, but I'm talking about the bull.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're raising our level, so we can't knock each other. The energy got to match, and we know what our
Mm-hmm.
problem is. So I
Mm-hmm.
can't. I mean, Chuck D said a long time ago, "Fight the power." So now
Right.
you're
Same
saying
type of
what?
energy. Yeah. Interrupt
Interrupt the
the
stages.
state of
I
the union.
understand what you're saying. I understand. Salute. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. It's over here. I'm
Yes,
leaning.
sir.
Yeah.
We just got to bring it together in order to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's what
Ingredients.
we're doing.
Yes, indeed.
So we're ending the show now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Salute. See y'all later.
Salute to you. Thank you
Yes.
for coming on.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Thanks for the
Thank you
invitation.
to
All right.
Shabaka Sankor for coming on to YouTube, Queen Thea, and another
Salute Daryl.
hmm, Thea.
I see the Daryl put salute down there. Salute Daryl.
Oh yeah, salute to brother Daryl for tuning in on
Yeah.
YouTube. and planting new growth over here out of Be More, tuning in on Facebook. So great love to
Nice.
you.
And
Thank you.
Shabaka, we need you up here, Shabaka. Pull
Shabaka
out a
need to
Thursday, Shabaka. We need you up
share.
here, brother.
Let's go. Let's go. So
And
yeah,
so next week, is it possible that we are going to talk about law and legal terms?
Law and legal terms. Talking about
Yes, sir.
the
Law and legal terms.
maritime law and the lies of the spells, or what do you mean? Where's that going?
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's where we're going, bruh.
Okay.
That's where we're going.
If I'm not driving, I'll be here.
Yes,
let's
sir.
do it.
Yes, sir. We appreciate it.
All right.
We appreciate it.
All right.
Saving our family.
All right. So I'm taking us out with some music.
Yeah,
Yes,
of
ma'am.
course.
Okay, so look, we here and we got a reason and a purpose, and we don't apologize.
Unapologetic.
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 Yes.
Sorry, I'm not
We
sorry.
the people are the judge and jury, the supreme power and authority. We don't apologize. My supreme justice is me. Queen of the goddess, peace, lady boss. My supreme justice is me. I'm bringing justice, you can see. It's for you and me as we live in unity. It's about community. My supreme
Yeah.
justice is me. I'm bringing justice, we can see. It's for you and me as we live in unity. It's about community. I'm not a sucker. Yeah, I know I'm looking like a lollipop, good and sweet to taste. My mind will stimulate your taste buds. That's why I say, don't let the smooth taste fool ya in any way. I cheat a lead on some knowledge here to school ya. Don't let an ignorant lane rule ya. Let this engaging rhyme grab you and fuel ya with the energy to reach your greatest version of self in the fusion of synergy. I'm talking about duality and polarity, the great fusion of your true identity. Get in tune with your ancestral entities to obtain your highest abilities. Unleash your powers of unlimited possibilities. My supreme justice is me. I'm bringing justice, you can see. It's for you and me. As we live in unity, it's about community. My supreme justice is me. I'm bringing justice, you can see. It's for you and me. As we live in unity, it's about community. Always handle your responsibilities to remain within your capabilities. Your superpower gives ultimate versatility in the greatest version of self to think and act above all hostility. To be hospitable, keep an open mind to stay in line with love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The five divine principles of the Moors by design to live in the ultimate galore. Step on shore, no more laws of the sea. Into the common laws on the land for you and me, Turtle Island. And we don't apologize, it's our time. My supreme justice. My supreme justice is me. I'm bringing justice, you can see. It's for you and me. As we live in unity, it's about community. My supreme justice is me. I'm bringing justice, you can see. It's for you and me as we live in unity. It's about community. We the people are the judge and jury. The supreme power and authority rises from within when we realize our sovereignty and autonomy and self-governing. Queen Mother Goddess, my aunt supreme justice is me. Beast Lady Boss, I'm bringing justice we can see.
That beat was so funky.
Islamism.
Where you?
Huh?
Hold on. That beat slapping. Them beat selections. Where you getting them beats?
That's
and
8
you
years
riding it like a skateboard. Easy though.
right there. I like A Gibbs, Relly Bade.
You gotta
Um,
send me the link. So no, that make it that they did half the work because it just open and let you fall out. You ain't gotta
that's it.
force that.
Treon.
That slap when you start seeing me ride. Oh, I can go any with you, but I just have to stop and listen. Like, and then she kicking, pushing on it too. Like,
Right.
easy though,
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
It's light
See, in
work.
the industry might not like that, but we do. So
Yeah,
Right.
that's why we're
no,
gonna
that's a
ride
slapper.
past them with it, and
That's
we're
a
gonna support
slapper.
each other.
When you
Absolutely.
drive by bumping that in a good system, they're gonna be like, stop at a light and let that be knocking. Like
But that's me
how I be
now.
riding,
I done
how I
had
be
people.
riding,
I done
they
had
gonna
people
look like
in traffic look over
what?
at me
What's
like,
that? What's that?
yeah.
Who that? That's
I done
me,
had
fool.
people look at me like that, like what you listening to? Because I be
That shit
jammed.
fire.
I be at the
Boy,
light.
I know you be at the light slapping like
Yeah.
with the mean mug. Like what you want? Still got the 40 on me.
That's me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm my piece, but I still got the pistol.
So it has been another great show. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. And I hope you enjoyed the content of the show and the music. It's all love and respect with me.
Straight up.
Love and respect.
Straight
Yes,
up.
And please tune in next week. We will do this again. 7 o'clock on Pacific, 10 o'clock East Coast. We will be on again.
facts. And for those of you on Facebook, you can go to the live streaming on its official Empire of Nubia page.
Yeah, official Empire Nubia. At official Empire Nubia in YouTube. We'd
Yes,
appreciate it if you like and subscribe and
yes,
share the page. Help us get our algorithms up.
that part.
Righteous.
That part.
So it's all
Thank you
love.
for your time.
Thank
Beautiful
you
people. Love you. Thank you.
for
All right.
sure. And thank you, Bro Star Daniel, for coming
Yeah.
on and engaging the
My bad.
conversation the way that
My
you
bad.
did. So El Yagar, thank you for joining and coming together with me so we can put this together and present this opportunity for others to come on and vibe with us and have this open communication. So with that,
It's an honor, Side Star. It's an honor.
thank you. Peace and love. We out.
All right.
Peace and love. Till next week, people.
Till next
Yeah.
week.